I'm Katie B with the Stark Bros team. Let me show you my garden that started as a blank slate 5 years ago. We live in the suburbs of St. Louis in Zone 6B, and when we moved in, we decided we wanted to plant a lot of fruit trees and berry plants in our space. So we lined our backyard with edible plants that come back every year. We plant them once, they come back, and we get to enjoy their fruit all summer long. So we have some thorny snowbank blackberries, and we also have thornless erect Arapaho blackberry plants. These are my kids' favorite. It's easy to harvest from them without the thorns. They help themselves and they share with friends. In addition to the blackberry plants, we also planted some mulberry. I pruned this one more like a tree, and then I have another one that I planted like a bush. And we have kiwi, hardy kiwi, that hopefully will fruit next summer. And then we also have elderberry plants, and you can see these grow very tall and provides a little bit of privacy from our neighbors. So with kids and dogs, we definitely wanted to make a very functional space for everyone to enjoy. So we have all the berry plants that our kids like to eat, and they just really enjoy spending time out here and helping me in the garden. We also wanted to plant a few fruit trees throughout the space, semi-dwarf trees for the most part. So we have our nectarine, and it's the first year it's put on fruit, and we're so excited. This is my columnar apple tree. The columnar apple tree is a great option to put in a container, or you could also line them for privacy and edible privacy fence as well. One of my favorite trees is this plum tree because it was very quick to start bearing fruit. It started fruiting the second year after we planted it. We also grow fruiting plants in containers. Some of these things you can't necessarily grow in our hardiness zone, so we bring them indoors in the winter and then bring them out as patio plants in the summer. So the fig tree is an excellent potted container fruit, super easy to grow, no pest and disease issues, and fresh figs are one of the most delicious things you've ever tasted. This is an olive tree as well. It's only a couple years old, and I'm trying to kind of shape it like that lollipop shape. We've got a Meyer lemon, a little blueberry. There's like one little guy. I'll probably put him in the ground eventually, but that's his temporary home. And then I also have a potted key lime and another Meyer lemon. They've both produced a few times for me, usually once a year, sometimes twice a year. I'll get some fairly large size fruits. Just a little guy right there, a little bloom. We make the most of our space, and with that we raise our own quail for their eggs. So you can do a lot in a small backyard. Here's my little raspberry plants. My plan here is to line this whole space with lots of raspberry plants. That's also one of my kids' favorites, and I just can't grow enough of them. And then of course I'd like to add more flowers throughout the space. Through the side yard, we have a mini orchard. So being on a corner lot, we have all this trees. And so again, we planted mostly dwarf and semi-dwarf. This one we just planted not too long ago, a root, and it's already taken off looking great, a cherry tree. And we have our other sweet cherry, a Montmorency pie cherry. This tree also fruited the second year after it was planted, so it's been a great tree for us with minimal problems, no problems really. We have another plum tree that's putting on a lot of fruit this year. I think there's a lot of gardeners who are expecting their first fruit season because it's been about 4 or 5 years post-COVID when everyone was really on board with planting more fruit and growing more of their own food. So I think there's a lot of people expecting a nice harvest this year. We also didn't have a late frost, so that was in our favor. So we've got peach trees as well. And actually when we moved in here, there were already a couple apple trees. So that was kind of one of the reasons that got me wanting to plant more. Definitely had space for more. So these are mature semi-dwarf apples of an unknown variety. And they needed a little TLC when we moved in, so I started pruning them, spraying them, taking better care of them. We planted another pollinator, and first couple years, no fruit, and then lo and behold, year 3 after we moved in, we had a huge harvest of apples, and we made apple cider, and we really enjoyed them. As you can see, I think we have space for a few more trees in our yard. If you would like to grow more fruit of your own, check out starkrows.com.